Hello everyone. Today I have Mr. Vikramjeet Singh, CHRO at the Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company. Welcome, Mr. Singh, and thank you for joining us. Mr. Vikramjeet Singh and Bajaj Alliance has won the award Change Management Strategy at OLX People HR Awards, and he's here to share some of his thoughts, how he went through, how his team went through the entire change management strategy, what went wrong, what went right, and what were the obstacles that he had to jump and finally change the entire strategy for his company in this uh, crisis. So thank you, Mr. Singh, for joining us. Thanks a lot. Without any delay, I would like to ask you my first question.
Sure, please. It's a pleasure as always. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. So, Mr. Singh, very frankly, I would like to ask you one thing. What was your first reaction? What was your first thought when this pandemic started affecting the workplace?
So, Abid, I'll be very truthful. This pandemic came in two elements. One is a big surprise. Second is not such a big surprise, and both have equally a reasons for it. Surprise in a way, the kind of a extent because nobody thought of it that it would actually lead to such a big timeline in terms of disruption. Disruption is one thing, but how long is the disruption is another thing. Not such a big surprise because we were watching Wuhan from February actually starting when the first time the news was somewhere out actually somewhere in the January second half. But from February we were watching it quite closely because one being an insurance company, you have certain claims on certain sections to be paid, and this being a new kind of a disease in that way, then how do you actually look at? So both of these things actually, came in. One as a surprise. The second was how is it happening, and what are people doing? And with the with the information being quite less on some of these things, especially on the second part, there were a lot of anxieties which got developed at that moment of time. If I were to say in the leadership team, in terms of all organizations, if we were to say. This is the
And
initial part I'm just talking over
yeah,
because you just asked about the initial one.
yes, sir.
While in the whole, journey, it has led to multiple, thought processes, emotions actually being out in that ways.
Okay. And Mr. Singh, when it came to India and it started impacting our workplace, the way we need to change our workplace, what was your thought? Like you were ready, you were watching Wuhan from, sitting in India. So you were pre, it was pre-decided that if there's something comes to India, something like this, what will you do?
See, Abid, exactly like I said, there are certain parts because we were watching, it was a little, we were knowing in terms of some things about to hit India, and this disease was actually spreading, and China was actually, somewhere battling with that similar disease in that ways there. We were, while it is case of being ready, the readiness I would say is actually comes with the vision of a company for a longer disruption. So when we were to say longer strategy, the strategy was around, and in our organization we play on both the sides. The strategy on a long term, one for a growth of business and second for a disruption of business. Now disruption can happen in a very negative way, disruption can happen in a positive way, both sides. And so I'll tell you, as simple as saying 1 year back, we took a decision of obviously having laptops for 99% of our people. Now, for any organization, even IT organizations, you would have seen, typically they have desktops for a lot of people. How typically the lockdowns would happen? And the lockdowns by a regulations of government, opening of offices, closing of offices, social distancing. Your offices are not made in such a way always. So some of those were surprises on an infrastructure and a technology part. However, the biggest thing which is very, very important is how the employees actually get this attack of anxieties along with this. Now, anxieties of what will happen in the future for them, anxieties of how will they be in a praise, anxieties of how their families will actually will have to go through this from that perspective. What will happen to some of their dependents, which is there. Now, these are some of the things which are on the emotional side, and there are no right or wrongs on this side, but how do you cater with it? And these were some of the set of challenges and surprises which started to unfold as we actually looked at some of these things.
Vikramjeet, you mentioned about employees' anxiety. I would really like to know the secret sauce. I think this was what jury was interested, that your company was more into work from field. Then as the people leader, how difficult it was for you to address the situation and convince your workforce to shift from work from office to work from home environment? How difficult for you was it, and what was the secret sauce?
Amit, one, there is no secret sauce because it needs to be very transparent. What we believed in always is the transparency bit of it. If we were to look at it, a transparency from a perspective of obviously all our communications. Second, in terms of anxieties, anxieties can be what all anxieties. So we obviously actually as a leadership team, we actually look into some of those anxieties. Exactly like I said, what happens to your job in terms of how will you be actually appreciated for your performance, and which meant that how do you look at your KRAs? We actually transitioned from a annual KRA system, an annual performance appraisal system, to actually a monthly and a quarterly. So that it can help people to look at what are the processes, what is the change in the processes required, what is the change in the KRAs required. Second, we looked at actually having everything on the mobile itself, rather than even on the a desktop or a laptop. Because some of the times while you may be on a fly and you may be at certain places where you may not have a full Wi-Fi connection, but at least you have a mobile connection, then how do you approve? How do you share? Now, this is not a short-term strategy. This was a long-term vision which we had set up. And all our people processes are all on mobile. I can happily say that. Now, this helped in terms of getting a transition, including a COVID tracking, which is there. We also got a free testing in terms of available for employees at any moment of time for them to get whether RT-PCR or an antigen or an antibody tested. Now, this is to help them in terms of saying that because they can impact even the dependents, if they want, they can get themselves tested. And therefore, once they're comfortable with it, and whenever we have people, whether at home or in offices, insurances are essential services. And we require people to actually pay claims also to people, which means that some of the times you need to be in front of systems. And in offices, some of the times you take certain critical high value claim decisions. Now, which meant that do we provide a safe environment and therefore communicate a lot about that environment. Third, in terms of anxieties, we rolled out actually a EAP program, which is employee assistance program on counselings. Now, counseling can be, we didn't refrain it to only saying official personal counseling. We said you can actually go through any type of stress which is coming in and have a, and we actually got this even to the families of employees. Now, very few companies actually invest onto those sides because our firm belief was what our human is at work, whether at home or in field or in office. The biggest thing which is there is you are a culmination of the overall ecosystem, what's happening around you. It's not only about what happens in office or in work. Your family is a big influencer around it. If your family is happy, the employee is happy. And therefore, we took a lot of initiatives onto those sides which is there. Third is the policies which we tried to change. We very quickly changed a lot of policies, introduced a lot of policies at that moment of time. Was to help people, whether from work from home, we did a lot of hybrids. Now, very simple is work from home is a very simple thing. You just work from home. No, a work from home would mean a lot of things. You require a lot of infrastructure at home. You require maybe an alternate week work from home in that way so that you keep adequate social distancing, but help people in terms of equally do their work. You equally require some of the times work from field and work from home. Now, there are so many aspects which came in, and we actually started to make a lot of these as policies. But equally saying, as and when the conditions are changing, we also get new introductions done into that, and equally supported on the infrastructure at home, which is there. And so, therefore, we had a financial aid rolled out on those sides, including laptops everybody was having, even for our vendor partners in a lot of places, we actually got laptops for them also, so that the business is not disrupted, the anxieties of performance not happening, productivity is not. We rather had an increase in productivity. We rather had a technological adoption much faster, which is there, which I think so a lot of organization had it, but for us, it helped us in terms of increasing our productivity even faster.
Thank you so much. What you mentioned about that, if your family is happy, then the employee is happy. That's a very positive and strong statement. If I believe if all companies can follow that, they'll definitely win a lot of awards. I just want to ask one more thing. Were there any tools or processes which helped you in this entire work from home situation? Is there any particular tool you were using?
So, Abid, as I said, this tools in place, which is there, is the overall vision we had in place for people that saying everything should be actually on a mobile for them. Whether that meant, and therefore 2 years back we won even global awards, is one of the first to introduce actually robotic sourcing and robotic hiring. So even for our hirings or sourcing, we were fully automated. Whether it meant any of the data into our people systems or they to take out dumps of that, those were already put in place. What we fast track along with it was our learning system, which we introduced new in April, which we were to do it in August, but we prepone it with this, was we try to democratize learning on the go. And this meant that do we develop app, which is something like a Netflix of learning, but equally democratized like Google, where anybody can actually look into whatever skills they want to develop and have options which are available for them in terms of choosing. Now, when I say options, options is very simple because my personal thought process is each one of us learns in a very different way. You may, and I'm just fictitiously speaking, you may want to read an article and then think about it, which is an artifact. I may personally want to go through a simulation. A third person may actually want to go through a classroom peer-to-peer learning. And the fourth one may go through a hybrid of some of these actually, which is there. Now, if this is there, till now in our worlds, we actually look at one type of a learning approach or a training approach which happens in organization, whether classroom or digital. A lot of people think digital is a disruption. Digital itself is not a disruption. Digital some of the times just becomes a conduit because you continued with the way of what used to happen in classroom, but got it on a digital side and therefore relayed very, very fast across time zones, across locations in that way. But that doesn't bring in that kind of a disruption. The disruption happens when you make it personified, when you actually get into democratization of this. And therefore, we introduced some of these apps where we not only had our own IPs and gamifications which were there internally, but we equally tied up with a lot of Ivy colleges globally, including like Harvard and others, which is there. We equally had a tie-up with the mass online courses. We also had a tie-up with TED and all that, because you may want to go through a AV in that. Now, all of this was available like an app, which was there at any moment of time for you to actually get into. Now, all of this actually helped into a big transition, along with introduction of some of our monthly and quarterly KRA systems, which were there in appraisal systems. Now, this is even for non-sales, which happened. So the total 95% of the organization went into that plus. Now, when you actually get all of this together is when you actually make the whole vehicle move in the way which you want to move for future. You leave one of them, you are bound to have a failure on some of the sides, and then the vehicle doesn't move. It stops. It's like a car which we drive. Even if one of the tire goes haywire, or even if your gear system goes haywire, or if there is a glass which is not working well and there's too much of a wind coming, it will get your speed down, which is there. And this all coming in together actually helped us and then along with that, the employee assistance programs which were there. And then we even had a Bajikathon, which was a hackathon. The first time a business hackathon any company has attempted for actually 10,000 employees. Hackathon, you will normally have 200, 500, 700 people doing it. And then only for a typical coding sites or something. We tried to do it for all our business problems, which were there. And every employee across levels, across locations, actually could participate for 2 days together. And we had more than actually 8,000 people participating. And now here is a challenge: how do you actually tweak systems? Because even individually, some of those times systems go faulty. How do you actually engage people and engage people for building a future well, rather than getting only anxiety of what will happen right now? And that's how you actually develop an ecosystem which is very employee friendly, but equally is business friendly in that phase.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I won't take much of your time. I just have one question left, and which is, which is very important for me to understand. There were so much talk about technology and advancement of technology, this pre-pandemic era, because there were questions raising questions about the significance of HR professionals But this crisis really highlighted why we need the people leaders. What do you have to say about it? How this pandemic has enhanced the role of people leaders? Because uh, I have heard this in many conferences that automation can take over HR. We don't need HR anymore. So, but this pandemic made all of us realize why we need people leaders. The CEO were, all the CHROs were on the speed dial of CEOs. So, what are your thoughts, and how this pandemic has enhanced the role of people leaders?
See, technology is always great, and the whole reason of putting technology is how do you get the best of experience at different points, similar and good at all locations across time zones, if we were to say. And with all of that coming, obviously the role of HR is bound to change. And with this pandemic, exactly like you said, there are certain parts of the whole role itself which got also added up in a sense, or rather they came to the forefront, was around the employee well-being, if we were to look at it, and how as a partner to the overall business, HR played a big role in terms of getting that disruption in aligned to helping business to work in a better way. I would say one is you look at the role to saying, can you get a sustenance there in disruption? The second is, how does a HR help in terms of getting better the business along with the employee health and well-being, which came to the forefront. Along with technology came in the speed and the agility bit of it and the standardization in a certain way, and touching upon certain aspects and making things more personalized for employees. Now, these are certain aspects in the past for HR, a lot of times were not present, because even as HR, most of the professionals in HR were looking at standard offerings. Now, is standard offerings the way forward with all of the OTPs, all of the different ways the digital disruption is happening? Is how you can make things personalized, equally democratized. Now, therefore, the whole role of HR has actually got more personified, if I were to say, and rightfully looked into if the HR professionals also take a jab onto it rightfully.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And I once again congratulate you for winning this award. And there are many more to come.
Thank you for that coveted recognition. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.